Hi everybody, and welcome to I Like Cruise Ships, the YouTube channel, and welcome to a new video. Today I'm coming to you from my lounge room, as you can see, and this is going to be a follow-up video to my Q&A suggestion video. Basically, of course, you know that I'm quarantined here at home in Perth in Australia. I'm not on the cruise ships right now. This is now day 7 of my quarantine of the 14, so I have another week to go. So it's counting down, but it's still taking forever. So I thought I'd follow up on some of the questions from the Q&A video. And yeah, so far everything's going well. It's very echoey in here because it's still very empty. There's no real furniture in here. There's the lounge, there's the coffee table, TV. In the bedroom, of course, there's beds, there's some wardrobes, but there's not really that personal touch. So that's why it sounds a little bit empty and echoey. Yeah, I'm not outside today. I figured it would be a bit easy to film this inside because then I can look at my computer screen and look at the questions, of course. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the questions on the bottom of the screen as I read them back. And of course, then you'll know who wrote them, or I'll read out people's names, and then we can tie the questions in with the answers. Okay? So let's get going, shall we? So the first question we have is from Hannah H. Hannah asks, very peaceful surrounding, beautiful neighborhood. Is that the neighborhood where you grew up in? Is this the neighborhood where I grew up in? So yeah, if you notice in the video when I filmed it outside, there was lots of parrots, lots of birds. This is actually not the suburb where I was living while I've been on the ships in the last few years. It is the kind of the area, I guess. This is called Rockingham, and the local beach is about 10 minutes away. I'm going to literally point to it. It's just down the road. I actually have been living with my parents most of the last few years when I've been coming home, or I haven't been traveling to Russia instead of coming back to Australia. And they live in a suburb called Baldivis. It's about maybe 10 or 15 minutes drive from here to where Rockingham is. Rockingham is actually an older, more established suburb. That's where you may notice the older houses in the video when you look maybe in the background and things like that. This is actually a little bit of an older house, but it's been renovated quite a whole lot in the last few months prior to me moving in. So they've done lots of work inside. They redid the kitchen, the bathroom. Where I actually grew up is actually not Baldivis either. If you do know Perth at all, it's another suburb. Most of my primary school, high school, I lived in a suburb called Munster, as in Herman Munster, but the suburb is called Munster now. Actually, even if people live in Perth, I can almost assure you that people don't know Munster. There is another suburb very close by called Spearwood and Hamilton Hill. They're the nearest suburbs, but we lived in Munster. Really only famous for a cable water ski park. So if anybody's from Perth or knows the Perth surroundings, they'll know cable water ski, which is now no longer there. It's gone now. It's now houses. They're filled in the lake. And that was famous where Munster was. But actually, most people would never have even heard of that suburb. But we lived right across from a park called Santich Park, where they played junior football. Most of my growing up, I actually played tennis. Not in that suburb, but in Fremantle Lawn Tennis Club. That's where I played most of my sport, sort of from pretty much from after primary school, high school, and after when I finished work. Well, when I finished school and started working full time. So yeah, this is not where I grew up, but it's where I'm living now, and here it is. So thank you, Hannah H, for that question. We'll move on to the next one. The next one, it's a little bit long. I'm going to read it out here. This is from Peggy Brown. Supposed to go on Horizon in February of 21 with friends. See if that still happens. Been liking your videos on how to get to the beach in multiple ports. Also, all of the ship info will help a lot as well when we finally get to go. My question is, where is Jen? You quarantined from her for 14 days. Able to reunite after, or is she in Russia? Also, out of all the beaches you've been to, where is your favorite? Do Russell cooks videos? I've got lots of people other than yourself, Peggy, asking about Russell's cooking videos. That'll be fun to watch. Good luck and take care, and see you in your next video. Thanks, Peggy. So yeah, so basically right now, Jen is actually in Moscow, Russia. I just talked to her on video right before I did the start of this video. Yep, she's actually at home right now. Actually, she's in the process of moving apartments because the plan was for her to come to Australia. But because they've now closed Russia's borders and they've closed the airport, her flight had to be cancelled, which was for last week now, or last weekend, let's say. So yeah, so I'm here basically alone. The plan was for her to come and join me in Australia for the time being, and come and live here in the house where we are now. And after my quarantine, the plan was to live here, let's say indefinitely. So yeah, it says, are you quarantined from her for 14 days? When she does come to Australia, we're not sure right now. At the moment, when you arrive into Australia, you have to go into a self-quarantine for 14 days. So she would have to do that as well. We're not too sure if it has to be an isolated quarantine from me, which we think it is, but we're not sure. The rules are changing every day. As you know, if you're watching TV, things are changing literally every day. So so the plan is for us to reunite here in Australia and then decide to where to go from here. She does actually have her residency visa for Australia. We arranged that last year. It took quite a while to get through paperwork wise. She did come to visit with me, and we came back to Australia in September, October. Kind of messed up with the months now. So she's already been one time. Her visa's all good. So she can actually enter Australia at the moment if she could get a flight, being that she's part of the rules of either being Australian citizen, passport holder, or visa holder. So she could come, but Russia's closed. Australia is kind of closed. So we're a little bit up in the air. Out of all the beaches you've been to, what's your favorite? Now, I've got two of them. I did think about this before I read the question. One of them is actually Horseshoe Bay in Bermuda. Now, I have done a video on that. Now, I'm not going to tell you about these because they've got videos made, but I was going on ships quite a lot of years ago to Bermuda where we were doing 7-day cruises, and we had 3 or 4 overnights per week in Bermuda. So we had a lot of time in Bermuda. I did that for 2 or 3 contracts, actually. So I lived practically in Bermuda while I wasn't on the ship, going back and forward, living on the ship, of course. But Horseshoe Bay in Bermuda is a beautiful place, amazing. Check out, well, not really the video that I've made. My video is mostly about how to get there. But check out some photos or some footage of Horseshoe Bay. My second one is actually Grand Turk. It's not really a beach there. It's not got a beach name, but where the ships actually dock in Grand Turk. If you're not aware, I actually did live in Grand Turk for a year. I worked for the duty-free shop company that has the shop on the pier in Grand Turk, where you walk through, there's a duty-free shop. And I worked and lived there for a year. My computer's going to time out here. And that beach area there, and actually all of Grand Turk is just beautiful. A lot of people kind of go, oh, it's boring, it's quiet, there's not people there, but that's kind of the whole point of the place. You can get off, the beach is right where the ships dock. You can actually find more beaches if you go past town, which is called Cockburn Town, or up at further past downtown, there's more beaches. But yeah, beautiful place. Get a chance to go there. A lot of people who have visited Grand Turk not on a cruise ship, a lot of people go scuba diving there. There's a very famous dive location called The Wall, which is a sheer drop-off about a half a mile out from the beaches, called The Wall. So yeah, that's 2 different choices, my favorite beaches. I'll actually link the descriptions if you want to check them out. It's not something I'm really promoting in these questions, but 2 places that I really do love. I've got a lot of fond memories of going there, so definitely somewhere I could easily go back to if I wanted to, or could get to go back there. So yeah, thanks Peggy, quite a few questions. The cooking videos, I'm not sure. We'll try and see what we can do. Okay, so the next question is from Christine Emmanuel. Hey, a great video again. I did have a chuckle about you not knowing what to do with the stovetop. Do you have a question, if I may? Are you exclusively assigned to one ship, or do you get after each contract another one? Is it also just on Carnival ships or within the Carnival group of shipping companies? Stay well as always, and best wishes from down under. Okay, Christine, so I wonder where you are in Australia. Of course, I'm from Perth, Australia. I'm a sound groper. That's our nickname of people from WA. Maybe you're from Sydney, Melbourne, or Adelaide. I'm not sure. I'm sure on TV you're knowing what's going on with all the ships over in Sydney. We do actually have one ship here in Perth as well. That's got a few things going on right now. The Artania. I work contract to contract. It's 6-month contracts. Then generally we go home for 2 or 3 months vacation. I worked my last contract on Carnival Dream. Before that, I was 2 contracts on the Carnival Horizon. So yeah, we basically don't necessarily go on a different ship each contract. We may do. We may go back to the same ship, or we may get another ship. The one thing is, generally, we stay within the cruise line. So we generally will, if we're working on Carnival ships, we'll go to another Carnival ship. We do have to have a different medical for each cruise line. There's requirements of the paperwork we need to join each cruise line. So right now I've got a Carnival medical, so I can join Carnival ships. I could get a medical to go on, say, Holland America or Costa or Celebrity, and then join those ships if they needed me to. But generally, we stay on the same cruise lines. There's not a lot of switching between cruise lines for the staff. The company I work for is part of Louis Vuitton. We're a private retailer that are on 90 ships. We're on Carnival, Holland America, Costa, Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line. So we're not necessarily only on Carnival corporation ships or Carnival group ships. We're on other companies operating the shops as well, basically the duty-free shops. I particularly work in the liquor and tobacco part of the shops, but we do have jewelry, watches, perfume, cosmetics, t-shirts. So yeah, it's a very big company, part of the Louis Vuitton group, who own other brands, of course. And we get a chance to go to different cruise lines if we want to. We could make that request. We could wait for an opening and a date. For me, I'm happy staying on Carnival ships and going back to Carnival ships because it's just easy for me to walk on, get dressed for work that night, go straight to work, and then basically fit into the team that I'd work with. So thanks, Christine. Good question. The next question we have is from Mike Madsen. The question is, the Russell fries and egg video would be great. Would be a great episode. Do you have food there that needs cooking? Have always wanted to visit Australia, so find your videos of life there very rather interesting. Keep them coming. Mike, so I've got a few things in the fridge that I need to cook. I've got some pork chops. I've got some potatoes that would need either microwaving or boiling. Otherwise, I've got some canned soups. My mum just came today. She brought me some pizza, so I got some leftover pizza for dinner tonight, actually. She brought me a whole lot of fruit today, so I've got some strawberries, grapes, apples. In the fridge, there is actually some hams. So there is some things I've got to cook and some things I don't. There isn't any eggs, so I can't do talk about frying an egg video. I'd have to get eggs to fry an egg. And I'd have to watch a YouTube video how to do it first, which might be a little bit tricky, but so another vote for cooking from home videos. I'm not like all these celebrities that people are seeing, doing workout videos and things like that and playing music. Pretty much I can talk about cruise ships and make videos like this. Okay, we're going to have one last question because I'm going to basically save some more questions for another video. And again, probably you'll ask more in these comments. So the last question is from Pamela Wiggins. She says, Russell, the weather looks beautiful. What season is it in Perth? I always thought the weather was opposite down under. I think you should do what comes natural. You have very good instincts. Thanks. Culture is going to be very interesting. So I'm sure whatever you do while you're in Australia is going to be great content. Thanks, Pamela. Pamela, I know you write lots of comments and I reply as much as I can. So I did actually look this up beforehand. It is actually now considered the end of summer. We're now April. So basically February is considered the hottest month of the year. Generally December, January, February is always very warm. Actually today for April, what are we on? April the 6th? It's actually 31 Celsius here today. So that's about 80 Fahrenheit or so if you're in America, or I'm not too sure. But it's a nice, beautiful day outside. I went out with my parents. My parents came to visit today, dropping me off food. They basically turn up. They come to the driveway. They pass me things, and then maybe I'll chat for a few minutes, and then they'll leave. But there's no coming into the house and interacting or anything like that. So... it's the end of summer. I don't really consider winter in Australia. We have very mild winters. So this is kind of the end of summer now, but still April is beautiful weather, 31 degrees outside. I think it's high 80 degree temperatures, high 80s if you're working in Fahrenheit. Everybody wants to come to Australia. I know you're saying that pretty much anybody I ever meet on cruise ships, they always want to come. That's their bucket list place to visit. Australia is huge, by the way. It's not close by things to see and do. So I do hope to make some local videos. I was thinking about it today, what I can film. Definitely can get down to the local beach. I can easily go shopping at the local supermarket. I can make videos like that. Day-to-day things, you know, what I would do normally if I go out somewhere. Yeah, and thanks. You're saying I have good instincts. Yeah, it's very easy for me to answer and talk. Part of working on ships and working in sales, I think that just basically makes it come very easily and naturally. So thanks, Pamela. All right, so we've come to the end of the video. I'm sorry it's not an exciting one. It is just a question and answer video. I have got a few more questions I'm going to do in a future video, so I'm not going to make these too long because they do just draw out and draw out. Of course, a lot of people are very curious about things, so if you do have specific questions, I'm really happy to answer them in another video. Doing them from home here on my sofa is pretty straightforward, so yeah, I hope you've liked this video. I Like Cruise Ships, the YouTube channel. Of course, we make lots of videos in the ports. We make them on the ship. Now we're making them from my house. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, pretty easy. Click the subscribe button. There is a notification bell if you want to see videos first before other people get to see them or find them, I guess. But thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks again for all the comments, all the thumbs up, all the likes. So thumbs up and likes, I'm not sure what you call them. It is very positive and very humbling to know that people do enjoy watching my videos and seeing my day-to-day life and what I do on the ships and when I'm off the ships. So thanks very much, everybody, and catch you in the next video. Bye.